Hi, how you doing? After I watch any TV show or film, because I have a crippling addiction to video games, I want to play a game that's in some way related to it. And with My Little Pony, it's no different. Unfortunately, Hasbro isn't known for their meaningful contributions to the gaming world with My Little Pony games. Hell, I was so desperate to play some kind of official game, I bought the DLC for Pinball FX, a game I'd literally never played before. To be honest, the only proper official game is the Maritime Bay Adventure game for G5, and being someone who hasn't watched G5 and has looked at the gameplay, I have to say, it doesn't scratch the gaming itch for me, although we will be looking at it in a little more detail later on. This shortage of games has led to people in the fandom giving up the prospect of an actually good official game and deciding to make their own. In today's video, I'll be taking you guys on a very short tour through the most famous fan games and one official game. This isn't a ranking, I'm not saying these are the best, I'm just saying they're the most famous. I already did a ranking video. I want to break from that. And, I mean, without further ado, onto the games. As I said before, I'm going to talk about Maritime Bay Adventure later in the video, and I may as well get it out of the way to start with. I do not like this game. I hate to start off with a negative opinion, but there just isn't much of a defense to give this game. It's just a copy-paste high-end kids game for kids to ask their parents to buy after watching Gen 5. The gameplay is very lackluster, with slightly tedious quests and slightly jarring animations, at least for me. It sort of just feels like a glorified mobile game that costs 30 quid and is released on consoles. As I said before, it's kind of just a nothing game that probably didn't take that long to put together to capitalise off Gen 5's launch, which many shows and movies do with their tie-in games, and in most cases the tie-in games are pretty awful. But once in a blue moon you actually get something good, like X-Men Origins Wolverine, which actually ends up being better than the film. I'm gonna have to admit to not playing the game. Right, I know, hate me all you want, but I didn't want to spend that kind of price for a shallow game that I'm just gonna play this video and not gonna actually enjoy. The gameplay loop is basically just go to this person, get a quest which is a basic mini game, do that mini game, return to the person, and they'll just give you some dialogue, which normally clunky exposition to just tell you what to do next. Rinse and repeat until you finish the game. I'm not going to deny that there are people who like this game, and they have every right to like it. Like whatever you want. But I'm just going to say, it's disappointing this is the only real game that we've officially got from Hasbro that isn't just spam mobile junk. Oh, fighting is magic. Very famous fan game in the community. Back in the early days of French's Magic, like 2010 to 2014, it was renowned as one of the better fan games and was really looking up as it had pretty decent animations and gameplay. And I can back this, as it's pretty fun to play, if a little difficult and complicated, as the versions you can find to download now do not have clear tutorials, and I suck at fighting games. To be honest, it's mainly the second one. Unfortunately, the game did get hit with a cease and desist by Hasbro in 2013 and was forced to stop work. However, later on people would post tribute editions so the game could still be played by fans. Most of these tribute editions are early access versions, so it's kind of clunky, but you can still play the game, and if you download the right stuff you can play it online with other people, so it's pretty good. The story does not end there, however, as Lauren Faust herself supported the game and designed original characters for its rebrand into Them's Fightin' Herds, which ended up getting finished and launched onto Steam. Now, apparently from what I've heard in Steam reviews, the game was doing well until the company that published the game laid off most of the dev team until there was only 3 active devs, then didn't focus on the story it promised, instead focusing on DLC, so the game is not getting any new story content, or really any content now, which is very unfortunate as many people said the game was really promising and was enjoyable to play. I would recommend seeking out a version of Fighting is Magic to try out, as it's a fun fighting game, and if you're any better than me, you'll probably be able to make it past the first level. Luna Game is the My Little Pony fandom's answer to Sonic.exe, and like that game, it had many sequels. The first game starts with the player controlling Luna, and you're given the ability to move forward. Now, it doesn't matter if you move or not, but 30 seconds into the game, you get met with the disturbing image of either Pinkie Pie or Apple Bloom. and after this, distorted music will play in the background and it will not be possible to close the game until it auto-closes a minute later. The iconic and memorable thing about this game that left bronies actually worried was after the game closes, either on your desktop or the folder that the game was saved in, a bunch of copies of whatever picture showed up for you would appear many times with text files that said the end is nay. At the time of Luna Game's release, people were worried that their computer got infected with a virus or something like that. But after many people scanned it with all sorts of malware detecting stuff, it was revealed that this is just a harmless joke game that potentially scarred some children who just wanted to play a game about their favourite princess. Of course, as I said earlier, the game had countless sequels, each one getting slightly more high fidelity and complicated, however followed the same basic idea that you would start as Luna, everything would seem normal, until one catalyst set the whole game off and all the creepy stuff happens. This catalyst could be obvious, like a Pinkamena screamer, or more subtle, like cracks appearing in the ground. Overall, these games are fun if you've got some time just to download them all and have some fun. Maybe with some friends, see if you get scared or not. They're all pretty short, so you could play them all in one sitting. Story of the Blanks is another My Little Pony reskin of a classic creepypasta, this time being Lavender Town. I'm talking so much about creepypastas, maybe I should make a video about My Little Pony creepypastas. Tell me in the comments if you guys would like to see that. Backstory of the Blanks. In the game you play as Apple Bloom, who accompanies Twilight on a visit to Zagora's house in Everfree Forest. However, she gets distracted by a filly who leads her, or you, as you're in control of Apple Bloom, to a village called Sunnytown. See the resemblance to Lavender Town? Now, it's a good time to point out the art style of the game, which uses actual NES graphics to make it seem even more reminiscent of a certain town in a Pokemon game. Once you start to explore the town, you notice that all the ponies there don't have cutie marks despite being adults, which immediately makes the player feel like something is off and creates an unsettling atmosphere. You find an abandoned house behind the town, where you see the burnt skeleton of a filly. Naturally, this is surprising, and you'll probably want to leave at this point. But once you exit the house, you'll see that the entire town has become overgrown and abandoned, and all the residents now appear to be zombies. You get guided out by the ghost of a filly that you saw the skeleton of, and it's revealed that her name is Ruby, and the town burnt her once they found out she had a cutie mark. Sorry for going too into detail about a game like this, but I feel like if I don't explain the story, then it's just all I'm going to be explaining is a walking sim. But you should still check it out, especially if you like the Lavender Town creepypasta, because this is just that with a My Little Pony twist. It's also complemented by a pretty great soundtrack. My Little Investigations is a point-and-click detective game where the player plays as Twilight and attempts to solve the mystery of Rarity's stolen gem and cat. Now, I'm not going to spoil any of the story, because that's the point of the entire game, and I don't want to take that away. You guys should try the game yourself, because it's pretty good. The game offers good voice acting and character interactions, which is great as most of the gameplay is talking to characters. You go from pony to try and piece together what happened, and it's fun to hear each character's version of the story or what they think happened. If you can find a download to this game, I'd recommend playing it, especially if you like games that are mainly about character interactions and logic, rather than straight up gameplay mechanics. And as is usual with this kind of game, it's very satisfying once you figure out who done it. This is a shorter video than my last one. I only went through 4 games, and I wanted to make this video short and sweet. Hope that wasn't an issue. As I mentioned before, if you guys would be interested in a video where I try to explain some famous My Little Pony creepypastas and all that, please tell me in the comments, as I'd quite enjoy making it, as I like creepypastas myself. And with that, I've been Monodash, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.